Well, good evening, and welcome to another Transformation Tuesday. This is the live that explores the many facets of personal growth and transformation. I'm your host, Lanier Akins, and tonight we continue our October series, Open and Closed Doors. In this episode, we delve into a topic that's close to the hearts of so many people. What is that? When God opens a door. We've been talking about accepting when God closes a door, but in this episode, we're going to talk about when God opens a door. So what I need you to do before we jump into it, I need you to go ahead, hit that like, share button, hit that like, share button. And after you hit that like and share, I need you to tag somebody. Tag at least 2 or 3 folk, right? 2 or 3 folk, and get them in the room. Get them in, and have them be a part of the conversation on tonight. They're going to be blessed. You're going to be blessed. We're going to have a wonderful time on tonight. All right. Well, shall we get started? Here we go. In life, we often find ourselves standing in front of closed doors, whether they be opportunities, relationships, or situations that we've desperately wished for, right? These moments, if we truth be told, they can be disheartening. They can be times of hurt, right? But we're here to remind you that closed doors can often lead to open doors. Let me say that again. Closed doors, they can often lead to open doors. And sometimes those open doors are orchestrated by God, by a higher power, right? They're orchestrated by someone who controls, knows all about us, who knows the plan for our life, right? Before we dive deeper into the discussion on tonight, let's take a moment to reflect, if you will, on the concept of open doors, open and closed doors. Closed doors, they can be seen as setbacks. They can be seen as disappointments. They can be seen as moments of frustration. They make us question our path. They make us question our decisions. And even sometimes they make us question our faith, our trust, our belief in God. Sometimes they make us say, God, where are you? Right? Sometimes it makes you feel like you're out here alone all by yourself. Some of you may be feeling that way even right now, that you're alone or that you're by yourself. But sometimes it's important to remember that a closed door is not a rejection, but it's merely a redirection. Did you get that? A closed door is not a rejection, but it's merely a redirection. Sometimes you have to think on that. It's a redirection. Matter of fact, somebody put that in the comments for us. Put that in the comments down there. Sometimes these redirections, or rather not redirections, but sometimes a closed door, it's not a rejection, but it's merely a redirection. It's redirecting us, right? It's shifting us. It's a redirection of where and God would have us to go, and where God would want us to go. It's a redirection. Well, the idea that a closed door, you might ask, is not a rejection, but a redirection. It encourages a more optimistic and a forward looking approach to life's challenges. Oh yeah, in this life we're gonna have some challenges, but it helps us to see setbacks as a part of a larger narrative. That's what we have to understand. The setbacks that we face, the setbacks that we deal with, there's a larger part to it, right? There's a larger narrative, and that larger narrative is leading us to where we're truly meant to be. Where you are now may not be where you are designed or where God has set for you to be. There's a larger narrative to what we just see right in front of us. So, what do I mean by when God opens a door? What are you saying when you say that, Pastor Akins, Lanier Lee? What are you saying? What are you saying here? Well, we're talking about those moments in life when you've faced adversity, you faced disappointments, or seemingly insurmountable challenges, and then out of nowhere, a door opens. A door just boom appears and a door opens. It's as if God is saying, I've got something better in store for you. I wish a few of you would just put that in the comments. I've got something better. I've got something better. We've got to learn to begin to see that, to speak that, to believe that I've got something better, right? God has something better in store for you. He has something better lined up for you. He's got something better planned for you. Think back to a time in your life when you felt that a door had truly opened for you, right? What was the circumstance? Think about it for a moment. How did it make you feel? Were there any signs that made you believe it was more than just luck, more than just fate? As I reflect and I think about it, about 5 years ago, I was in a job that I thought was great. I thought this job was it. I thought I could stay there for the rest of my life. And I had worked hard to get there, and everything seemed perfect on the surface, right? Above, but deep down, I felt like something was missing. I felt like something wasn't there, was out of order. It was during a particularly challenging period at work that I found myself feeling overwhelmed and disheartened. Felt myself feeling burdened. Felt myself not wanting to go to the job that started out great, that I thought I could be at forever. And it was at that very moment when an unexpected opportunity came my way. A friend recommended me for another job that was entirely different from what I was doing, and I decided to give it a shot. And to my surprise, if you will, it turned out to be a transformative experience that has led me to where I am today. And where I am today has opened up many doors for future opportunities, to other opportunities, to present opportunities. But had I not taken the step to say, you know what, let me go into this other door, this other opportunity that was open, that I believe God opened, right? And for many of us, like myself, many of you like myself, these moments are associated with the sense of alignment, right? A feeling that the universe conspired in our favor. Some call it fate, while I see it as the manifestation of God's plan for my life. You got to know God's plan for your life. How do you know God's plan for your life? You spend time with God so that way you can hear God talking to you, sharing with you, telling you, this is the plan that I have for your life. Many of us, God has tried to speak to on several instances, but for some reason, we're not hearing, whether it be because we've got noise going on around us. Noise could be situations, circumstances. Watch this. Noise could be the people that are around you, family members, friends. Sometimes you got to steal away. A lot of us, God has been trying to talk to you since they invented sliced bread, but He can't get your attention. He can't get your ear. You've got to learn to be intentional with spending time with God, and not just asking, not just praying, laying out your petition, but after you've done all that, say, now, Lord, speak to me. Wait and listen to God speak to you. How many of you know God will speak to you after you, when in your prayer time, when you said what you needed to say? After you're done, you just get up and go. But if you stay there for a while, God will begin to speak to you. He'll talk to you. He'll talk to you. Even in the middle of you asking, He'll talk to you. Sometimes He may not talk to you then, but He'll talk to you throughout the day. If you open a listening ear and say, God, what is your plan for my life? There was a greater plan at play in my life. God was guiding me towards true purpose, not just purpose, but true purpose, divine purpose, God's divine will, right? It's as if God's hand was orchestrating the opening of doors that I could not have imagined. And I'm sure many of you have that same testimonies, same experiences, same situations, right? So, why does God open doors? Sometimes we ask that question. Sometimes we don't ask that question. We don't even care. We're just grateful that the door is open. We've had so many doors that was closed. When we finally get an open door, we running right through it, right? But no, really, seriously, why does God open doors? Well, some might argue that it's not about divine intervention, but rather it's a result of hard work, right? All where you are or where you're at now, you got there by yourself, right? Where you are now, you got there on your own. Where you are now, you arrived and you're living with the Jeffersons on your own account, right? I hate to bust your bubble, but you didn't get there by yourself. You didn't get where you are on your own. God's grace and God's favor allowed you to get to where you are. Even if you don't want to see the hand of God in it, God's hand was in it when He allowed you to wake up this morning. Hello, somebody. When He allowed you to get up, to go to school, to get the degree, to get the education, He allowed you the opportunity to do all that. So His hand of grace was upon us. His hand of favor, if you will, was upon us that allowed us to get to where we are. It wasn't all on our own ability. No, some things we had to move in God's ability. Why? Because some things we can't do in our own self, no matter how we want to try or how much we want to believe that we can't do certain things in our own ability. We've got to move in God's power, right? It wasn't our hard work. It wasn't our preparation. It wasn't us seizing the opportunities, but it was God aligning things for us. Now, while that could be true in some situations and to some extent, we have to really reflect and look back and say there are moments when doors were open in ways that simply could not be attributed to anyone else but God. Couldn't be to our own efforts, couldn't be to our friends' efforts, our family efforts, the connection, the who we knew. No, it had to be some things we only got because of God. Let's just tell the truth. A lot of us are only here today. We're standing where we are because of God. We're tuning into this live because God kept our minds. We're able to log into a computer, log into our phones, log into whatever devices we are on because we still have our right mind. My God, when we look at folk, and I was just dealing with the situation over the weekend, a young man in his 30s, right? Mind gone, mind just out of his mind, his whole life ahead of him, but his mind is gone. The voices inside of his head have him going one way, going opposite directions, right? We ought to be grateful that we have our right minds, as the old saints used to testify, clothed in our right minds. Oh, clothed in our right minds. God has allowed us to be where we are, and we've got to give Him praise. We've got to be thankful. We've got to be grateful for God. It's essential to approach all these experiences with what? Gratitude. Because it's not our own ability, but it's God. Approach them with humility. It's not me, it's God. And faith. Continue believing. Gratitude, humility, and faith. Keeping the faith in God. Whether you believe in God or not, you have to acknowledge the mystery and the beauty of life's unexpected turns can be a deeply spiritual and transformative experience. What are you saying? You might not have believed this God did it, but at the end, you probably gonna look back and say, you know what? I guess it had to be God. It had to be God. Come on, somebody. Well, let's consider some practical steps. I want to consider some practical steps. Not going to hold you too long tonight, but I want to drop these nuggets on you, food for thought. Some practical steps for recognizing and embracing these open doors in our life. So, number one, mindfulness. Mindfulness. What do you mean when you say mindfulness? Stay present and attuned to the opportunities and the changes that present themselves. Let me say that again. Stay present and attuned to the opportunities and changes that present themselves. The only thing constant is change. Opportunities are going to come. Change is going to happen. Sometimes these doors are subtle and we might miss them if we're not paying attention, right? That's the instance where God covered us in that accident before we could even call on him to say, Lord, come in, pop in. Or sometimes we forget to go back and thank him for what he's done, right? They happen subtly and we'll miss them if we're not paying attention. So be mindful of the open doors that God opens. All right. These are some practical steps to recognize and embrace the doors. What do I do with these doors that are opening? Gratitude. Be thankful for both the closed doors and the open doors. God, I'm glad you closed some doors, because you closing some doors protected me. You closing some doors spared my life. You closing some doors kept me to keep my mind so I'm not crazy. You closing some doors gave me the opportunity to be able to move forward. Gratitude. Be thankful for both the closed and open doors. Closed doors are blessings in disguise. They lead you to where you need to be. Number three, faith and trust. What about faith and trust? Have faith that the God of the Bible has a plan for your life. Have faith to know that God has a course for you. Have faith to know that God has a purpose for you. If you're here listening to my voice, still have breath in your body, the blood is still running warm in your veins, God still has purpose for you. Have faith. Then you got to trust in the process. I know the process doesn't always feel good. The process is not always short term. Sometimes the process is long term, too long. Somebody type in the comments, too long. Y'all know y'all telling the truth. It's too long. But you've got to trust the process. Weight trainers, we talk about it all the time. When you get into the gym and you start out your first couple of sessions, you're going to have some pain. Oftentimes you want to quit because you're sore. But if you push through the soreness, push through it, eventually your body will adapt to the weight that you're lifting or to the course that you're in, and it will strengthen itself and you'll be able to go a little further, lift a little more. But you've got to trust the process. Okay, for those of us that don't work out, that need to work out, when you're making that cake, right? And you've got the salt and you've got the eggs, the baking powder. You've got all these nasty chemicals, right? That necessarily don't have good taste, right? But you got the sugar along with it in your milk, or you put all these ingredients together. And you've mixed the bad and the good, right? And then you put it in the oven and you let it bake. Can't pull it out too soon, because what happens if you pull it out too soon? It'll drop, it'll fall, right? But if you put it in the oven, mixed up these ingredients, put it in the oven for the allotted amount of time and allow it to come out, you let it go through the process, you've got you can smell it right before it's getting done. Y'all not gonna talk to me tonight. I just felt something in my spirit. I can smell the doors opening. My God. I can smell the opportunities coming. I can smell the next step in God. I can smell higher levels. I can smell new seasons coming. Y'all not gonna talk to me tonight. I'm getting excited. Ooh, I can smell my next place, my next step in God. I can smell something new. I can smell the new door opening. Yeah, I smell that old door, that closed one too, but I can smell. Why? Because I'm on the brink of a new day and I'm on the brink of a new opportunity that I've never had before. So I'm excited about it. If I trust the process, do I have anybody that will trust the process? After you trusted the process and you smell that cake that's in the oven cooking, when you take it out, you've got a good cake, a sweet tasting cake. If you put the right ingredients, the right amount of measurement right in there, you've got something good that has gone through the process. You've got to trust the process. Not only that, but believe that open doors are a part of God's plan. They're a part of his plan. Open doors are a part of the process that God has for you. Then lastly, number four, take action. If you remember a couple Sundays ago, go watch it. I believe it was first Sunday, might have been second Sunday. I preached second Sunday, preached a message talking about take it now. Take it now. You got to take action. When an open door appears, be ready to take necessary steps. Let's park there for a moment. When an open door appears, so an open door, when timing is everything. Timing is everything. When that open door appears, be prepared. That means you've already got your stuff together. You're ready to go, right? You're not gathering up stuff, but you've already gotten yourself together. You're where you need to be. You've disconnected from what you needed to disconnect from. You've girded yourself up with the word of God, prayer, fasting, all of those things. You are ready. You are prepared, right? Prepared to do what? To take the necessary steps. Yeah, there are going to be some steps to get through that door. You've got to get up off your chair, get up off your seat, and walk through the door. Walk through the door that has appeared in the right timing, ensuring that you're prepared and you're taking the necessary steps, right? Even divine intervention, it requires your participation. If God is going to move on your behalf, it requires him to do his part. And watch this. You've got to do your part. Somebody typed it in the comment. Do your part. Do your part. You got to do your part. Do your part. Do your part as well. Do your part. Number one, once again, be mindfulness. Be mindful. Be mindful. Have mindfulness. Mindful. Two, gratitude. Got to show gratitude. Be thankful unto God. Three, faith and trust. Faith in God that he has a plan for your life. Trust the process. And four, take action. Take action. God does his part, but you've got to do your part as well. Be doers of the word and not hearers only, right? It's not only talking about living what the word says, right? Living right and being saved. No, you got to put some things into action. You got to do some stuff, right? You got to put some things in to play, right? You've got to do your part and God will do his part. In closing on tonight, in closing, final thought, Jerry Springer, final thought. When God opens a door, it's a reminder, watch this, that life is filled with beautiful, unexpected moments. When God opens a door, life is filled with beautiful, unexpected moments. While we may not always understand the grand design, we can choose to embrace the journey, right? We can choose to embrace what's to come with an open heart and an open mind, knowing that all things work together for the good to them who are what? Called according to his purpose. We serve a God that can take the bad and the good, put them together to give us something great. You're not going to talk to me. He'll take your bad and your good to make something great. He's a God that will do that. He's a God that will close doors, the bad ones, open new doors, the new thing, put it together to make you great, to cause you to be great, to create something great within you. When God opens a door, watch this. When he opens a door, can't no man shut it. When he opens a door, no one can close it. Only one that can weed themselves out of it is you. You responsible for your outcome. You determine the outcome of the effect, right? It's all about you. Well, as we continue through this October series and on open and closed doors, my desire for this series is to inspire someone, to inspire you that's watching, to keep moving forward. Sometimes we might want to slow down. We get lackadaisical, we get lax, we get sidetracked, pulled over here, pulled over there. But I want to inspire you to keep moving forward. Not only that, but to trust that the closed doors are leading you to something better. And the open doors are blessings from God. Trust that the closed doors are leading you to something better, and the open doors are blessings from God. My prayer tonight is, God, that you would open up our hearts and our minds. Thank you for this time of sharing on tonight in Transformation Tuesday. Thank you for my brother, my sister that might be dealing with these open and closed doors, accepting them, God. We thank you for allowing us the ability, giving us the ability to accept when you've closed doors, God, giving us the strength to accept when you've closed them. Lord, and now we thank you for the open door that you've allowed to be. God, the rejection is only a redirection in your plan and purpose for our life. And we thank you. Forgive us where we've lacked. Lord, forgive us where we've fallen off and fallen astray. But tonight, God, we ask that you would empower and strengthen us, Lord. Oh, God, able us to be the example, able us to have the faith to trust the process and to continue believing. God, and we thank you. We'll give you the praise. All this we ask in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. I want to thank you for joining me again on tonight's episode of Transformation Tuesday. I'll be right back. I'll be right back here at the same time next Tuesday, looking for another wonderful time in God, in the Lord. I'm going to be looking for you to join me and to be with me, to share with me, and to do what we do, right? To have a wonderful time. I don't know about you, but I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed every Transformation Tuesday that we've had thus far, and I'm looking for more, right? Once again, thank you for tuning in. Remember, when life closes one door, it might just be opening another one. Until then, next week, that is, stay positive, stay hopeful, and stay transformative.